This will make your Wim Hof Method breathing 10 times more effective. The Wim Hof Method is a popular breathwork and cold exposure method that has captured the attention of millions of people all over the world. Many claim it boosts energy, improves sleep, heightens alertness and focus, and even fortifies the immune system. The world saw Wim Hof climb snowy mountains like the Kilimanjaro in shorts, run marathon in the desert without water, and immerse himself in ice for hours, all with the power of his breath and mind. But beyond the remarkable feats of records, it's accessibility of his method to the everyday people that's truly captivating. And today we're going to delve deeper, exploring how mastering foundational principles can amplify these benefits much. Like any skill, mastering the Wim Hof Method is built on foundational principles. Just like 80% of an iceberg lies below the water's surface, I believe that the underlying principles multiply the effectiveness of the breathwork. So if the visible iceberg would be the Wim Hof Method breathwork protocol of 30 to 40 hyperventilation-like breath, followed by a breath hold after an exhale, and a recovery inhale and hold at the end of the round, what are the foundational principles that lie below the visible surface? Well, that would be the basic mechanism of breathing and mindfulness. And before you dismiss these things as too basic, remember that almost all top players in any field state the importance of practicing the basics. So let's break down the iceberg. These under the surface parts are breath awareness, diaphragmic control, and mindfulness. So let's dive deep into each of these essential parts that hold the power to transform your breathwork practice. Breath awareness is about tuning into the sensations of your breath. Being aware of the sensation of breathing can come in many forms. For instance, you can be aware of the body's movement when you breathe and locate and sense all the body parts that are involved. Or you can simply feel the sensation of how the air enters your nose. When you breathe in, where does that sensation begin? Can you trace it? Where do you feel your breath the most? Is it in your chest, your nose, maybe your belly? In the beginning, it's always best to start where it's easiest. So for example, when you feel your breathing in the stomach the most, start by anchoring your mind to the movement and that location first. Then gradually expand this sensation to neighboring parts until your awareness surrounds your whole torso like an invisible cloak. Pay attention to the little details. How loud is it? What is the rhythm? As you dive deeper, consider your posture. Are you slouched or sitting tall? Breath awareness isn't just a warm-up exercise before doing the actual breathwork, but a skill that can and should be trained and cultivated. The more you feel, the better you can control your breathing. Diaphragmatic control is the second foundational skill of breathwork. Once you're aware of your breathing, you know how your natural breath should feel like. Now it's time to control and strengthen your diaphragm, the dome-shaped muscle that controls your breathing. When you know the Wim Hof Method breathing, you probably have Wim's voice in your head that yells, "Take a full inhale and let it go." But what does taking a full inhale actually mean? I like to look it through the lens of the full yogic breath. This breath has 3 levels: the abdomen, mid-chest, and upper chest or clavicles. In the Wim Hof Method, this is referred as breathing in a wave-like motion from the belly to the chest and head. But in my opinion, this is a little misleading, as it leads to believe that the movement of breathing is one-dimensional or happening on a sagittal plane. So many people try to push their belly button out when inhaling, or arching their back to inhale in a wave-like motion, or tense up their shoulders and neck when trying to inhale into the head. But as the diaphragm is sitting like a dome underneath your lungs, you should imagine your torso as a cylinder that is expanding to all sides, not just to the front. So in the beginning, gradually fill up all levels from the abdomen to the mid-chest, and finally the upper chest and clavicles. If you're proficient in breath awareness, you should feel the intra-abdominal pressure building up and surrounding your whole torso at each level without arching your back or tensing up your shoulders and neck. And with practice, you can involve all levels simultaneously, instead of going from belly to chest to clavicles. Now that we've covered the inhale, let's take a look at the exhale. Exhaling is a relaxation process of the diaphragm. And if we want to get good at this, we just need to look at a natural physiological occurrence, and that is the sigh. Sighing is hardwired in our nervous system. So simulating a sigh after doing a full inhale is the easiest way to let our breath escape. Initially, it may feel forced, but the better you can tune into the physiological connection of a sigh instead of just copying the movement, the better you get at it. Traditional martial arts and breathing are interconnected. When I enrolled in the military in my early 20s, I had to test my lung volume with an exhalation test. I remember the doctor was totally baffled after my graph from the meter went off the charts. Normally he would only see that in adults who were professional trumpet players. But in traditional Kung Fu, you have many specific breathing exercises that train your lungs and other organs. One simple one is to exhale through pursed lips after a full inhale to increase air resistance. It may sound simple, but this resistance trains your diaphragm, making it stronger over time. And as you get better with this exercise, you'll notice a change. Breathing starts to feel more effortless. It's like giving your lungs a workout. Mindfulness. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make when practicing the Wim Hof Method breathing is to focus on their breath hold time. How long you can hold your breath does not correlate with the method's effectiveness. Each person is different, and there are many parameters that can influence the duration of the breath hold. That said, a much better way to focus your attention is to enrich the silence while you hold your breath. As you offload a lot of carbon dioxide during the hyperventilation breathing, you can naturally hold your breath for longer than usual as you offset your breathing stimulus. But what do you do in this silence? What I like to do is to integrate the practice of meditation and mindfulness into my Wim Hof Method breathing protocol. There are countless ways to do that. You can do a body scan, yoga nidra or non-sleep deep rest session, a Feldenkrais body sensing exercise, qigong, or a simple gratitude or mindfulness meditation. And I know, you might rightfully criticize that 60 to 120 seconds is not enough to do such a meditation practice. But A, you have multiple rounds where you hold your breath, which will add up. And B, your altered conscious state from the breathwork allows you to engage differently with the mindfulness practice. But I'm fully aware that the whole domain of mindfulness and meditation has its own space, and I wouldn't do it justice by chunking it up into breath hold bits of mini sessions. But to me, it can fill the gap of practicing the Wim Hof Method just because it feels good, and give the practice a more profound meaning and depth to discover. Speaking of meaning, check out this video here to learn about the most common mistakes of the Wim Hof Method breathing. Thanks for watching, bye.